Welcome, Slayers, to another episode of DARKTIMES Debriefed, your behind-the-scenes look at how the ultimate Brawler Royale is being built. DARKTIMES has been in development since 2022 in partnership with Blowfish Studios, a team with deep experience shipping high-quality games. These updates are based directly on the internal development logs. They're raw, unfiltered, and designed to give you a clearer view into what's happening during each sprint. This episode covers the 2-week sprint ending on Friday the 11th of July, 2025, and includes build versions 18.0 and 18.1, starting with 3D art and animation. This sprint, the focus was on charged attacks, both left and right-handed, for unarmed characters. The new animation for charged left attack is now in, and was cleaned up to match the revised silhouette and movement profile. That change gave us a stronger baseline for the mirrored right hand, which was developed and animated the following week. Now that both sides are complete, the charged attack feels grounded and responsive. The biggest win: we've got clean gameplay visibility for both charged directions, with synced animation and motion curves. But there's still a blocker. Arm placement is inconsistent, especially across male and female rigs. We're waiting on a merge before we can validate final behavior inside Unity. Over to platform engineering. This sprint continued work on stabilizing tournaments and reducing back-end flakiness. We also looked at client logins and back-end token flow. In earlier builds, tokens could expire between launcher start and match queue, leading to timeout loops. We've added logging and expiry buffering to reduce edge case failures. Discord presence was also unreliable. We discovered Unity was destroying the presence manager too early in some flows. That's now fixed with coroutine delays. Our biggest win: login reliability is now stable across multiple test cases. The blocker: we still haven't isolated the root cause behind tournament instability, but server-side logs point to memory or allocation mismatches under high load. Now for the lead developer. This sprint, work focused on stability and debugging during a temporary feature lockdown. To prep for external tests, we disabled multiple gameplay features, including two-handed swords, all movable barrels, and some HUD elements. That revealed a bunch of latent issues, especially in the music playback and barrel behavior logic. Turns out, barrels were still triggering physics reactions even when hidden, so we've now disabled them entirely, not just visually. The win? We discovered some deep bugs that were only exposed during minimal builds. The blocker? Some systems don't degrade gracefully when disabled. They need hard deactivation paths, not just visibility toggles. Now over to the senior developer. 2 key areas this sprint: throwing weapons and cosmetic bugs. Throwables now work, with full trajectory logic and active projectiles. We're still tuning the arc calculations, but the system is functional, and throwables can be used in matches. Character selection was also limited. We're temporarily locking playable characters to Mammoth M, Huntress F, and Old Man. That's helped isolate cosmetic issues more clearly. We fixed a knee-high boot bug for Huntress, corrected burn FX logic, and disabled all loot goblin flame trails. Feature toggles were also added for debugging, giving designers cleaner visibility. The win? We've got throwable weapons in, and cosmetics are finally behaving predictably. The blocker? Stamina depletion was preventing full attack chains, which slowed combat testing. That's being tuned now. Let's move to back-end development. One major change here: we've disabled the Colosseum map from tournament rotation. Previously, it caused spawns to glitch and performance to drop during late-phase fights. The map is still in the game, but won't be used for matches until properly rebalanced. We also updated the tournament sequence flow and hooked up new event logic for match transitions. The win? Tournament logic is now more stable, and the flow respects map logic correctly. The blocker? Build deployments started failing after the map changes. We're now reviewing the build pipeline for broken dependencies. Game design made multiple updates during this sprint. The focus was on feature toggles, both visual and gameplay. In build 18.0, we removed the shop buttons and cleaned up redundant leaderboard toggles. In build 18.1, we expanded the feature flags, turning off weapon selection during loadout and removing unused ability slots. This aligns with the current test build goals and allows for more targeted QA passes. The win? We've now got granular control over what's exposed in the client and better understanding of the network control layer. The blocker? Weapons couldn't be disabled fully from the designer's end. We still rely on dev-side flags for deeper logic changes. Finally, QA testing. In build 18.0, we validated multiple feature toggles, spears disabled, barrels hidden, and HUD elements suppressed. We also tested audio persistence and found that menu music still fails to persist across scenes. The new music system loads per scene, so transitions reset playback. In build 18.1, we tested the new throwable logic. But there's a bug. Thrown weapons behave like boomerangs, returning to the character after impact. Weapon toggles also seem to reactivate in some loadouts. And music is still defaulting to off when the game launches. The win? Feature toggles are now working, and throwable bugs are isolated. The blocker? Persistent audio settings are still broken, and thrown weapon logic needs a hard stop condition. Overall, this sprint brought progress across charged attacks, throwables, cosmetic fixes, tournament stability, and feature isolation. Coming up next, final polish on throwables, audio persistence, Colosseum map tuning, and deeper control over menu state toggles. Thanks for watching. Dark Times Debriefed. To join the conversation, head to discord.gg/darktimes. We'll see you next time, Slayers.